Many a times people are oblivion to the notion of Hajj, and many of times you hear people telling you Hajj is part of the 5 pillars of Islam, right? Many a times you hear people saying that. This is my way. I invite to Allah by perception, high, and whoever follows me, and glory be to Allah, for I am not among the idolaters or mushriks. Yeah. So, like I said, many a times you hear people telling you, "Oh, we have to do Hajj. Hajj is part of the 5 pillars of Islam, and Hajj is mandatory." Whatever they keep saying such things. So they will mention the Shahada, they will mention Salat, they will mention Zakat, they will mention the Siyam, and then they will mention Hajj. Right. So this is what people claim is 5 pillars of Islam. However, throughout the Quran, there is no concept of saying that Islam has 5 pillars. No, no such concept in the Quran. It is a foreign concept which actually people try to involve in the deed. So when we say Hajj, don't think we all believe in the concept of the Hajj that the sectarians are doing. First of all, let me put this here. Right? The notion of the black stone is not there. Stoning the devil is not in the Quran, right? Visiting the masjid of the Prophet in Medina is not in the Quran. Zamzam water is not in the Quran. 7 times circling of the Kaaba is not in the Quran. These are not things God commanded, right? People are, and then they will say you have to say labbaik Allahumma labbaik labbaik la sharika lak labbaik. It's not in the Quran. This is not something God actually instructed you to do. So people have been indoctrinated to think that I have to say this before my Hajj will be accepted. No such thing, right? So this is a checklist. These things are not part of the Hajj. So anybody who has anything to add, just add. I make the list so people can see it, right? I repeat, this is not part of the Hajj that the Quran has stipulated, right? So it. And number one, I gave you a list where I showed you that it has nothing to do with praying and facing the Kaaba. There is nothing like Blackstone. Number 6, facing the Kaaba to pray. There is no such thing as Blackstone in the Quran. It is not part of Islam. There is nothing like stoning the devil. You can't see the devil. How can you stone him? You'll be a fool to buy a ticket, go to Saudi Arabia and say you are going to stone the devil. You think the devil is so dumb to go and sit in Saudi Arabia for you, the foolish person, to come and stone him? Masjid in Nabawi, they say when you go to the Hajj, you have to go to this place. It's not part of the Hajj, right? Zamzam water is not part of Islam. So I don't know where they concocted this, right? It's not part of Islam. And then they will ask you, oh, it will heal every sickness. Go and see whether there are no sick people in Saudi Arabia. Go and check and see. There's a lot of sick people still there. Why do they have hospital? If Zamzam water will cure everything, why do they have hospitals and to cure people there, to take care of people there, right? It makes no sense. Don't be fooled by this concept telling you, oh, Zamzam water is the holy water. Where did God mention that? Where did God even mention a water called Zamzam to even tell you this is holy? And then 7 times circling of the Kaaba, it doesn't exist in the Quran. God never instructed anybody to go ritualistic to circulate 7 times. It's not there. Facing of the Kaaba to pray is not instructed by God. As we saw from the pictures, they are facing the Kaaba to pray. It is not instructed by God. So beware of this, right? It's not part of Islam. Now, what people need to understand is the reason why I showed those pictures so that you get to know of the concept of the modern day Islam, which has been invented by shuyukhs, scholars, and people, which has nothing to do with what God actually instructs.